All right, here it is, guys. National. Super excited. Flight leaves in about an hour, and this will be an interesting one because I think last year I went in with the goal of not buying anything. The year before I went in with goals of buying a fair amount of stuff, a lot of targets. This time, somewhere in between, from a modern, ultra-modern baseball perspective, the market that I know and enjoy the most. I don't know if there's going to be that many opportunities. Maybe Jackson Holiday. Outside of that, maybe some wax too. But, lugging that onto a plane, not really a fan of that. Or mailing it back to myself, not really a fan of that either. So vintage Pokemon is something I might look at. Maybe some stuff that I don't ordinarily see at local shows as well. I might also be interested in rare stuff. Seems like everybody's going after rare 90s Griffey stuff right now. But I won't do that because it feels a little bubbly, to be honest. As strong as Griffey might be long term, especially with Trout doing what he's doing, I think it gives more opportunity actually for Griffey stuff to be more sought after like 20, 30 years from now, in my opinion. Not saying that Trout won't have long-term appeal, but so looking at other sports, Mahomes is a guy I like a lot, but you got to be careful with Mahomes. Some of the stuff I'm looking at hasn't actually fallen that much from the peak. I think it's been a lot of the lower end base rookies, non-numbered stuff. That got hammered, as well as the super high-end stuff, national treasures, flawless stuff that I don't really operate in that market too much, but I know it's gotten absolutely hammered, and maybe that's been overvalued versus some of the other rookie autos that I'm looking at, on-card stuff. So there's an auction tonight, and once I post this, that will have been over. And I plan on making a bid in that auction. It's a red Prism jersey match number /50 auto, PSA 9. The trick, especially with me, I do a lot of Bowman Chrome. I want a nice autograph. I'm not probably going to get the autograph that I want, given that it's a PSA 9, given that this card doesn't come up often. But at least it's not graded a 9 auto. I think it would grade a 9 auto. But it's better than some, and it's not smudged. And in the scheme of things, it's decent for Mahomes based on some other ones I've looked at. So I'm going to be going for that card. And that's an example of one that, like, if you look at like the peak 2021-ish, hasn't really fallen too much like the other stuff. So maybe the market's just correcting and being smarter about not putting a premium on stupid jerseys that mean nothing. And that's a broader market thing. That's not a Mahomes thing. So it'd be nice to see some correction. Like, how could he be a long-term holder of a card with a beautiful patch where the jersey means nothing? I mean, the card's rare, but there's all these other cards that you could buy instead that are just as cool, in my opinion. And maybe I'm just like a chromium snob, coming from baseball and clearly drawn to Bowman Chrome stuff. But those are my thoughts. So yeah, this national will be interesting. Some of the things that I might be doing a little bit different this time, strategy-wise. Trade nights, if these things don't get shut down, I plan on walking instead of sitting, and that'll allow me to kind of target more people versus me kind of being hunted by predators. You kind of want to be the hunter versus the hunted. It's a zero-sum game with a lot of this stuff in a flat or downtrending market for a lot of the segments right now, where you want to put yourself in good situations to succeed. So not saying I'm going to go after people that don't understand the value of their inventory or people that look stupid, but I think ultimately that's what a lot of people do with these trade nights, and you're able to get in front of more people and choose who you interact with if you are walking around. I'm down 22, 23 pounds since February 1st, so hopefully my knees hold up throughout this entire weekend, and my back as well. I've had back issues in the past. And my neck, and at card shows specifically, just looking at dollar boxes, probably won't be doing a ton of that, but like your neck being in one position, your head being in one position, tilted down for such a long time, it's not good, especially when you have like a backpack on and Yeah. So what else am I going to be doing different? Oh, targeting dealer booths. So a lot of these dealers, I think the turnover rate was like 5% or less. So these guys aren't amateurs, but if they take things in trade throughout the week, older people aren't going to have the best eyes unless they're working with other people. So targeting raw cards to maybe grade, arbitrage games, especially if I like the player, if it's already an undervalued card relative to other sets or relative to other similar players in the class or whatever. I might try to target some of that as well. But yeah, I mean, there's not one particular card that I absolutely need. I think with Jackson Holiday, he's already gotten like a 30-40% bump over the last 2 or 3 months, so that's dangerous. I'm just betting on the hype, the psychology, whether Elly continues to tear it up or if his batting average drops to 240 by the end of the season. So if Elly shows us that he is who we think he is, and the power really starts to tick up, the ground ball rate drops, and the strikeout rate stays around 30%, defense stays good, and he stays healthy on the field, most importantly, then people are going to be like, okay, who's the next Elly? Now, Jackson Holiday doesn't quite have the same tools, but higher floor, comparable ceiling guys. And pay attention to that AA performance. So another reason why it's risky to buy him right now. Limited plate appearances in AA. The move from A to AA tends to be one of the toughest adjustments for minor leaguers. He's holding his own right now. The power is a little down. Walk rate's lower than I'd like it to be. K rate's low. Altogether, I mean, it's a pretty good, pretty promising sample, albeit it's a sample. So, but anyways, Elly does well. The narrative is, let's find the next Elly, right? Elly doesn't do so well. That just means there's more wallet share, more money, more flows to pour into the next guy. And Jackson Holiday, in my opinion, will be the unquestionable #1 prospect overall when the Baseball America lists update again. Like, they have a big update coming in January that a lot of people look at, and that's right in line with when the ramp up for baseball card starts for the modern guys. Some guys already start to get attention in like late November and December too. We've seen, so maybe a handful, and then you see a lot of the others get their hype, especially prospects, a little bit later, maybe in January, with that update. So a lot of people already kind of assume that he'll be #1, but I feel like there's just more people that don't know how good this kid could be right now. Now, with me, I prefer the non-autograph stuff, especially if the autographs are streaky. With him, they're streaky. And I feel like I'm overpaying if I get a streaky auto. I don't care if it's a PSA 10 refractor. I love those cards, but streaky auto, no thanks. So the auto has to be pretty good. Doesn't have to be graded at 10 by Beckett or PSA if it's got it on the label. But so for me, it's actually the non-autograph numbered stuff, true colors like blue, orange, gold. Some of that stuff takes a little bit longer to adjust in the market versus the autos too. So that could give me another small benefit, maybe. Although the blues have sold a number of times in the recent month. So yeah, looking for nice raw stuff to grade. Even if we get rid of this whole like stereotype on older people just having bad eyesight, there's these younger people too, and some people just don't have the eye for grading. They just haven't done it as much themselves. They just don't have the confidence that something will gem if it looks clean, right? Brought a little flashlight with me. These trade nights aren't gonna have the best lighting. The show, certain areas are absolutely terrible, like way worse than local shows that I've been to. So that's something to watch out for too. So awesome show. I'm gonna try to pay a little bit more attention to the cards this time than the people. Definitely like to socialize a lot of these things, and sometimes you get carried away. So plenty of time to do that after the show though, especially if trade nights get shut down. We've got my events with Maiko we're hosting Friday. That's not shut down. It's not advertised as a trade night in the description, and it's Lowe's bar, carved out area from the rest of what could be a chaotic main floor and lobby. That's Friday at 8 p.m. It's probably going to go till like 11. So if you watch the channel, if you're an RCEB subscriber, if you're a fan of Maiko, if you're a collector, if if you're a creator, if whoever, maybe you're not even really on YouTube, you're definitely invited, and please say hello. All right, I think that's it for now.